The Boston Celtics have been one of the most fascinating stories in the NBA this season, not because everything has gone according to plan, but because so much has gone right despite circumstances that could have easily derailed the entire year. Entering the season, expectations were cautious. The absence of Jayson Tatum loomed over everything. Questions about how the team would survive without its franchise cornerstone dominated every conversation. Yet, game after game, the Celtics continued to compete, win, and exceed expectations in ways that forced the league to take notice. As the season has unfolded, two massive questions have hovered over Boston like a cloud that refuses to move. The first question is simple but monumental. Is Jayson Tatum coming back this season? The second question is just as important. Will the Celtics make a trade at the deadline? For months, these two questions have existed separately in the minds of fans. But now, as the trade deadline approaches, they are becoming increasingly connected. There is now a growing belief around the league that whatever the Celtics decide to do before the trade deadline may quietly reveal how confident they truly are about Tatum's return. This idea gained serious traction after NBA insider Jake Fisher shared insights suggesting that Boston's trade deadline behavior could act as a clear signal of their internal expectations regarding Tatum's recovery. The logic behind this idea is not complicated, but it is extremely telling. Front offices rarely act without a long-term vision, especially one as calculated as Boston's. Every move they make, or choose not to make, is informed by medical evaluations, internal timelines, and strategic forecasts that fans never fully see. When a team commits significant assets at the deadline, it is rarely a blind gamble. It is usually done with confidence in what lies ahead. According to Fisher, one well-placed observer around the league suggested that the Celtics' deadline activity should be viewed as a strong hint toward their plans for an in-season return by Jayson Tatum. Whether Boston targets a major upgrade at center or opts for a smaller move could speak volumes about how close they believe their superstar really is. This speculation becomes even more compelling when you look at the timeline. It has now been roughly 8 months since Tatum underwent surgery to repair a torn Achilles tendon. In the immediate aftermath of the injury, there was cautious optimism. Tatum's father publicly stated that the hope was for a return somewhere in the 8 to 9 month range. At the time, that sounded ambitious. Achilles injuries are among the most feared in basketball. Careers have been altered and shortened by them. But modern medicine, combined with Tatum's age and elite conditioning, kept the door slightly open. Now that the calendar has caught up to that original estimate, Celtics fans have officially entered what many are calling Tatum Watch. Every update, every practice video, every rumor is being dissected for clues. And while there has been no official timetable released by the team, there has also been no indication of setbacks. Quietly, that matters. At the same time, Boston finds itself at a crossroads. The trade deadline is approaching fast, and the Celtics are being linked to a wide range of big men across the league. The names vary in prestige, cost, and risk, but the common thread is clear. Boston is evaluating its frontcourt options seriously. Among the higher-end targets, players like Jaren Jackson Jr. and Ivica Zubac stand out. These are not marginal upgrades. These are impactful defensive anchors who could immediately raise the Celtics' ceiling. Acquiring either player would require a significant investment. Draft capital would almost certainly be involved. Salary matching would likely mean parting with rotation players such as Anthony Simons and Sam Hauser. These would be aggressive moves that signal a team preparing for a deep playoff run. Then there are the more moderate options. Names like Robert Williams III, Day'Ron Sharpe, and Daniel Gafford have also surfaced in conversations. Each comes with a different profile. Williams brings familiarity and elite defensive instincts, but also a long injury history. Sharpe is younger and less proven but comes at a lower cost. Gafford offers rim protection and physicality, but lacks the offensive versatility of higher-tier options. These moves would be more conservative, aimed at stabilizing the rotation rather than reshaping it. What makes this situation so intriguing is how directly these decisions could tie back to Jayson Tatum. If Boston were to push all their chips toward the center of the table and acquire a top-tier big man, it would strongly suggest that the organization believes Tatum will be back sooner rather than later. A move of that magnitude would not make sense if the team expected to navigate the remainder of the season without its best player. It would be a clear signal that Boston is planning not just to survive the season, but to compete meaningfully in the playoffs. On the other hand, if the Celtics opt for a smaller move or choose to stand pat entirely, It does not necessarily mean Tatum will not return. It could simply reflect a desire to remain cautious, preserve assets, and avoid long-term financial complications. But it would suggest less urgency, less confidence in an immediate payoff. What cannot be ignored is how well the Celtics have played without Tatum. Jaylen Brown has taken full control of the offense, delivering the best stretch of basketball of his career. He has embraced leadership, carried scoring loads, and kept Boston competitive night after night. Role players have stepped up. The system has held together. This unexpected success has given the front office flexibility, but it has also raised expectations. That is where the decision becomes delicate. Boston does not want to jeopardize the future for a short-term push that is not fully supported by health. At the same time, windows in the NBA can close quickly. Opportunities to capitalize on elite play, momentum, and internal growth do not last forever. There is also the psychological aspect. If Tatum truly believes he can return for the playoffs, and if the medical staff shares that optimism, then making a significant trade could send a powerful message to the locker room. It would signal belief. It would reinforce trust. It would tell the players that the organization sees this season as something more than a placeholder. Yet caution remains justified. Achilles recoveries are unpredictable. Even when timelines are met, performance can vary. The Celtics must balance hope with realism. They must weigh internal confidence against external risk. That is why the trade deadline looms so large. February 5th is not just a date on the calendar. It is a fork in the road. Whatever Boston does between now and then will be interpreted, rightly or wrongly, as a statement about Jayson Tatum's future this season. Fans may not get an official announcement anytime soon. There may be no dramatic press conference declaring Tatum's return. Instead, the truth may reveal itself quietly through transactions, roster decisions, and calculated restraint or aggression. If the Celtics swing big, it likely means they know something we do not. If they stay conservative, it may mean patience remains the priority. Either way, the next few weeks will tell us far more than words ever could. One thing is certain. The Celtics are not operating blindly. Every option on the table is being weighed with extreme care. And at the center of every discussion, every projection, and every contingency plan is one name. If you want to stay ahead of every development, every trade rumor, and every hidden signal coming out of Boston as this story unfolds, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Let me know in the comments what you think. Do you believe Tatum will return this season? And should the Celtics make a big move at the deadline or stay patient?